Hello, I'm Josh Reese, and welcome to Literature Buffs. On today's episode of Literature Buffs, we will be examining the lives of John Milton and John Bunyan, both Puritan authors who had a great impact on literature. The Puritan author, John Milton, is most famous for his works, How Soon Hath Time, When I Consider How My Light is Spent, and his most famous epic poem, Paradise Lost. The Puritan author, John Bunyan, was famous for his books and works A Vindication, A Plain Man's Pathway to Heaven, and his most famous, Pilgrim's Progress. Hi, I'm Josh Reese, and we're back on Literature Buffs, and we have a guest on the show today. His name is John Bunyan. How are you doing, John?
Doing good.
Doing good. I'm just going to ask him a series of questions so we can learn about his life and his background. So, John, can you tell us where you were born?
I was born in a small village named Elstow.
Elstow. Okay, that's interesting. What were your parents like? What did your father do?
My father was a poverty-stricken tinker. And then there were pots and pans.
Okay. So, John, what was your childhood like? Your schooling, as far as helping out with the family, how was that?
I received the basic education, but I had to leave school early to contribute to my father's income.
Oh, okay. So, John, since you were a Puritan and not a Quaker, can you tell me about your wartime effort?
I served in the Puritan Army when I was young, and we fought against the supporters of the monarchy.
Yeah. Okay. So that was in your teenage years, but also I was reading, and another interesting thing happened during your teenage years. You met your wife.
Yeah. I got married at the age of 19.
Mm-hmm. And your wife, as I read, introduced you to religious texts.
Yes. She introduced me to the Bible, and I was moved by it so much that I just started going to church a lot.
So you joined the Puritan Church then?
Yes.
Wow, what a woman.
Beautiful.
I hope to find a woman like that someday. So your wife led you to Jesus and to the church, and so now you're in church, you're a Puritan, you're a Christian, and you start writing.
Yes.
What inspired you to write Pilgrim's Progress? I mean, your bestseller.
Well, I thought me writing Pilgrim's Progress was just a better understanding for other Christians to read and to understand it more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're pretty strong in your Christianity.
Yes.
Yes. There was some conflict, I hear, with the Catholicism of the time that the Puritans were leaving, and you were arrested several times. Is that correct?
I was arrested for preaching without a license.
Really? Wow. I really admire you. Really admire what you did there. One of your most famous quotes is, "Words easy to be understood do often hit the mark, when high and lured ones only pierce the air."
Yes.
I think that really says a lot about you,
Mm-hmm.
because Pilgrim's Progress was easy to understand. You wrote it in simple man's terms, and it really hit the hearts of the people. So would you consider it a success?
Yes, I do. I went through some rough times, but in the end, just helping others was what I was wanting to do.
You were sent to prison, you were arrested, so I mean that must have been tough on you.
Yes.
Also in my notes, I find that you were born in 1628 and you died in 1680.
Yes.
So who the heck are you?
John Bunyan.
Hi, welcome back to Literature Buffs. I'm here with a very special guest, John Milton. He's a world-renowned Puritan author and poet. John, how are you?
Doing good.
Doing good. Well, today on the show we're just going to ask you a few questions, go over your life a little bit, and see what we get, okay? So, what was, when did you know that you were going to, just change the world with your poetry?
Well, I always knew at a young age that I was always going to be a writer. So
Really?
yes.
Okay. What's kind of the purpose or the way you want to go with your writing?
Well, I like to describe it as to justify the ways of God to men.
Justify the ways of God to men. Well, I think you did a brilliant job of that in your writing. So, John, you knew you were going to be a writer at an early age. Exactly when were you born?
December 9th.
In 1608, 09?
Something like that, yeah.
Around there? Okay, well, guess we kind of know. Where did you attend school?
St. John's School.
John, you're such a kidder. You know it was St. Paul's. John Milton, everybody.
While on my stay at St. Paul's School, my earliest attempts at poetry were the retellings of Psalms 114 and 136.
So, John, did you enjoy your time at St. Paul's at the early stages of it?
I wouldn't say I did, no. Most of my classmates, they didn't really like me.
Why is that?
I was always kind of a loner, and I was just really serious about my work, so.
Really? But, I mean, was it like that all the way through school, or did you get friends eventually?
Well, as whenever the teachers really realized that I was such a outstanding student,
Yeah, well, of course.
the classmates began to get a lot of respect for me.
Oh, okay. So what can you tell me about your time after school?
Well, after school, I went to my father's for 6 years and did a lot of reading and writing and just jotting down a lot of stuff.
What about after those 6 years at your father's?
After my father's, I went off to Italy and I was well-rounded there. A lot of people respected me there.
Really?
Yes.
You know, I just, from reading some biographies about your life, I heard all the scholars and scientists and philosophers were just crazy about you at a really young age because of your brilliance. That's true?
You could say that, yes.
Just from reading your works and stuff, I think that you would really enjoy America because in America, the people pretty much have the power. How does that line up with your views?
How do the people, I believe that the people, if they have a bad ruler, they can overthrow that king.
Well, folks, you heard it here. So, because of your political views, you had a lot of political opposition in your life, and that had to make life a struggle. But what do you think was the biggest struggle of your life?
At age 44, I went legally blind.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you can't see me?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, anyway, so later in your life, you penned the famous epic poem, Paradise Lost. But you're blind. How did you do that?
A lot of my family and friends helped me. I sat on the couch and just told them a story about Adam and Eve's downfall.
Wow. Well, that is amazing. Thank you for your time. It's been a wonderful show. I think we're going to have lots of viewers and lots of positive things for next week's show. Thank you. You have a nice day.